This is one of Shimano's Octalink bottom bracket models, which were designed in the 90s and replaced the square tapered bottom brackets. In the Octalink design, the spindles are round instead of square tapered, and the ends are splined, has 8 splines on it, and the splines in this version 2 are 9 millimeters long. It came out as an improvement on the square tapered spindles because the spindles here are being hollow, so the system is lighter, and lighter is better for cycling. This product comes labeled as sealed cartridge unit, and in this video I'm going to explain a little bit about what this actually means in comparison to having a sealed cartridge bearing. Sealed cartridge unit is nowhere near the same as a sealed cartridge bearing. So, what they mean by sealed cartridge bearing is that there is a seal there at the end of it, and underneath you can see the bearing balls rolling around. I have taken it apart, so inside is very straightforward. In the housing is where the outer raceway is machined into on both ends, and the spindle has the inner raceways machined into them. The bearing balls are held in cage, in this plastic cage by a friction fit, and the seals are these rigid plastic seals. One seal here was partially damaged because once the bearings and the cages are fitted in place and the two seals are slipped in place, there's really no way to dig out the seals without destroying one of them a little bit, like so. It's not meant to be serviceable. So this sealed cartridge unit has, or features, these seals that are somewhat flexible, as you can see, but they don't really, the seals don't really interlock with either the spindle nor with the housing. This is a fairly rigid seal. It's not soft. It's flexible, alright, but it's not really soft. So water gets into these fairly fast and destroys the let me just tilt the camera a little bit, destroys the raceways. You can kind of see there corrosion sets in, and you can see these transverse lines there on the raceway there. So this had to be replaced, was replaced, and I found it in a recyclables bin. Okay, the cage material otherwise is also plastic, and the bearing balls are just friction fit into it like so. So these seals, back to the label, sealed cartridge unit. So this unit is sealed together with these fairly rigid seals, and it makes one unit, and it's a cartridge like so, with no serviceable parts really inside, has to be replaced as a unit. So in a sealed cartridge bearing, the seal is completely different. It has a metal backing which is somewhat flexible but more rigid than the plastic on this Shimano design, but the edges of a sealed cartridge bearing seal here, the edges are really soft, both on the outside and on the inside. Moreover, these edges, soft edges, interlock with the rims that are built into the inner ring here, as well as the outer ring. So when this seal is pressed in place, it seals way better due to the soft edges, and you can see how the soft edges are folded on there, and you can see where it snaps in place, and you can see it changes how it reflects light. So that's how it looks like, and it interacts really well with the outer and inner surfaces on the bearing. This is being a sealed cartridge bearing with two seals going on it. So Shimano's moved on since and uses sealed cartridge bearings that look like this and are press fit inside these threaded bottom brackets. and I have removed these seals as well, so you can see the same plastic cage on the inside here holding these bearing balls in place, same as this design, where the bearing balls are just friction fit into it like so. And the seal here is a modern design just like this. It's just more difficult to film this one because the seal is just tinier. So these bearings also failed. Nevertheless, water gets into these. These are press fit inside there with 2 seals on them typically, and yeah, they are not indestructible, but they last significantly longer with these pliable soft edges, last significantly longer than these rigid seals. So if you can upgrade your bicycle, instead of running this type of seal on an Octalink bottom bracket, if space allows you to replace it with the same thread pitch design, slightly different there. It's about the same on different bicycle models, of course, differ vastly, but if you can upgrade your bicycle to a modern bottom bracket with modern actual sealed cartridge bearings, it's gonna be longer lasting and also more rigid and lighter than this Octalink design ever was.